Apple is hosting the anticipated iPhone 7 launch event on Wednesday, and the event will begin at 10:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Running up to the launch, the constant leaks refuse to stop, and the latest bring more information about the specifications and features of the iPhone 7.
Apple has recently sent out an invite for an event to be held on September 7th in San Francisco, which in all likelihood means that the iPhone 7 is coming. Usually Apple's device launches have always been under wraps, but the iPhone 7 has been exceptionally revealed through rumor mills working in overdrive. India Today gets you the top 7 leaks and almost confirmed rumors about the iPhone 7. The iPhone 7 will have a design similar to that of the iPhone 6s and the 6s Plus, but the new iPhones will sport redesigned antenna lines. The new iPhone will in all probability be ditching the 3.5mm headphone jack, so potential buyers will surely need to reconsider their headphones for the iPhone 7. Apple fans can rejoice as the tech giant will most likely kill its 16GB iPhone base variant. Instead, the new iPhones will come with minimum 32GB of internal storage. The main image sensor inside the iPhone 7 is likely to remain the same, which means one will get the same 12-megapixel images. But the new iPhone might just get a dual camera setup on the rear and is likely to have a brighter, wider lens, which will further improve low-light photography. The iPhone 7 and the iPhone 7 Plus will use the iOS 10. The iOS 10 is already out in beta version and is expected to be launched in its finished form on September 7th. The new iPhones will also be available in a darker shade of blue. If the leaked images are accurate, this color may look really classy. Apple's iconic home button will see some sort of redesign. Apple is expected to add a force touch, a kind of mechanism that would give the click impression, even though the button won't actually move. By eliminating the movement, Apple hopes to ensure that there is no friction and hence less chances of failure. Shivan Chandna, Bureau Report, India Today.
I'm now joined by Gaurav Upreti. Gaurav, please tell us about the top features of iPhone 7. Are there any similarities that this new phone has with its predecessors?
Well, in terms of similarity, the design is something that will remain similar. Apple is not going to make much of changes in that, but there are new features that we're expecting. For instance, like I said, design is going to be similar. The first major thing is going to be the removal of the 3.5mm audio jack. Instead, they'll be using the same charging port, and there'll be a proprietary headphone jack which would be used over here. Also, we can expect a dual camera setup, which would mean that better picture quality and you can do a lot with your camera. Next big thing is going to be the iOS 10 update. Right now it's in the beta stage, but it has many more features and we should expect it to be released the same day. And new colors, we can expect new colors to be introduced in the around this time. Last time we saw rose pink, rose gold, which looked like pink. And we also have to remember it's been almost 10 years since we saw the launch of the first iPhone. It was in the year 2007 that the first iPhone was released, and it just changed the way how we look at smartphones. Then came the 3G, when the 3G technology was rolled out, and we finally saw a bump in the internal storage. 2009 came the iPhone 3GS. It had a 3-megapixel camera. It was a big deal at that time. It was a fantastic camera. Then came the iPhone 4 in 2010. Camera quality improved. It was bumped to 5 megapixel, and then we also saw something called FaceTime, in which two iPhone users could talk to each other for almost free. Then came the 4S, we saw an upgraded camera, a better battery life, and then in 2012 we saw the iPhone 5, which had a bumped up RAM, faster speed, bigger processor, and a 4-inch of screen size. 2013 came the iPhone 5C, when Apple realized they have to offer cheaper option to the people. It had a plastic build, but didn't really do that well. Then came the 5S, which was a slight upgrade, and after this point Apple sort of started to see a decline. They did increase the size of the iPhone 6 and the 6S, but then people weren't really upgrading that fast, and that was the first time Apple actually recorded a decline in their sales. And in 2016 we'll see the iPhone 7, and Apple would really be hoping that they could get back those numbers and iPhone 7 becomes the best smartphone.
But is it really worth all that money? I don't know. I still have to make up my mind. Meanwhile, there's also the Apple Watch that was launched in April last year and is ready for an update. The Apple Watch 2 is all set to be updated with new features like GPS, a barometer, a higher capacity battery and improved waterproofing. Take a look at what it will be like.
On September 7th, Apple fans can also expect to see the second generation of the Apple Watch alongside the iPhone 7. Apple Watch was released in 2014 and it became a bestseller. Fast forward 2 years, every other smartwatch in the market has received updates and new versions except for the Apple Watch. This could all change this year with the release of the second generation of the Apple Watch. The main features you can expect to see in the Apple Watch 2 are a faster 16nm processor from TSMC, a barometer that will measure atmospheric pressure, inbuilt GPS, superior waterproofing and a higher capacity battery. These features suggest that the Apple Watch 2 could be trying to market itself more as a sporting wearable. The functionalities cater more closely to those who would want to use it while swimming, climbing and exploring independent of an iPhone.
Over to Gaurav now, who will tell us, what else we can expect, what new we can expect on October 7. In addition to that, Gaurav, also give me your personal opinion. Do you think it is worth all the money that Apple is again going to be charging us?
Well, yes, along with the iPhone 7. In fact, we're expecting two models of the iPhone 7, the 7 and the 7 Plus. And the Apple Watch is long overdue. Initially, when it was launched, it was a hit, but then it didn't really offer that many features that the other competition actually offered. So 7 Plus, and we can see the Apple Watch 2, which is finally going to get an upgrade. And we can also expect the new MacBook. Now, what we are expecting in the new watch is that it's going to be lighter, it's going to have GPS, which would mean that it's going to be more of a fitness tracker, now, which many watches are supposed to be. And the only problem is that it's still going to stick to the iPhone. It's not going to be an independent device, so to say. Now, like we said, the iPhone is getting new features. New headphone jack is going to be removed. That will be a new addition that we'll see. And Galaxy 7 is still the best phone right now. It toppled, in fact, Apple iPhone last year as the best smartphone in the world right now. And good news for Apple is that their latest device, Samsung Galaxy 7 Note, has just been recalled. It had all the features, but because of battery issues, there was a global recall. So that could be good news for Apple. And so all the eyeballs would be on the Apple. And talking about money, Padmaja, Apple, yes, you have to pay a price for it, and because that's why people look at you, because you bought something expensive.
No, that's okay. Just because it's Apple, all right, so I'll pay a certain amount of money. But let's face it, now you've got so many more smartphones in the market, Gaurav, which for the same, in fact, lesser amount of money are giving me a bouquet of features. Honestly, if you were to set aside the Apple brand, tell me, is this the best buy for me in the market for about, it's about 65,000, right? Is this the best buy at 65,000?
Yeah, it should be. We're expecting the price to be around 60,000 plus. But like you said, yes, there are better phones in the market, and that was exactly the reason why people have not been upgrading to iPhone. That's pretty much what happened, and that been the argument of Apple, that people are not upgrading to their newer models. And the only problem, the problem that I see right now is that why would people be upgrading to the 7? Because Apple's argument was that people haven't upgraded from the 5 to from the 6 to 6S, but then why would they upgrade to 7? Because if people have just bought 6, I think they will stick to it. And there are better options in the market, frankly speaking.
All right. And very quickly, I want to take your last 20 seconds. Is it true, because someone told me that Apple puts a little bug in every new model of theirs so that they can quickly do an upgrade in the next model? Is it true? Tell me, what's the inside story? Confess on national TV.
Well, that's something, that's been the same argument with Windows. They say Windows, they launch the product first and then they keep upgrading it. But not really. The USP of Apple devices has been that the software and hardware gives you a very seamless experience, so to say. And if there is an issue and if you're paying that much price, believe me, I mean, you'll be bothered about that, and so would Apple.
I can imagine, of course. When I'm paying 65,000, I expect it to even perhaps, run on the road, also like do all my work, do my shopping, do my groceries and my utensils for me. Thanks very much, Gaurav, meanwhile, for joining us. Of course, Gaurav will tell us the very latest.